In this video, we're going to walk through how to connect a dedicated domain for sending emails. Now, this step is very important because when you're doing automated emails or just sending emails through the system, it's really important that we have this set up in order to have deliverability so that your emails go to your customers or leads inboxes and not to their spam folders. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to settings, and then we're going to go over to email services right here. And then what we want to do is we want to set up what's called a dedicated domain and IP. Now you can see here in our account, we already have ours connected. So I'm going to take you over to our demo account and walk you through the process of what it looks like to set this up and configure it. Now, before we go through those steps, I just want to talk through why this is important for email sending. So one, your dedicated domain for sending emails needs to be tied to a professional business email. So for example, if you're using mybusiness@gmail.com, then that is not going to work with the system because email providers today, with their rules and regulations, they require that your business is authenticated. And the only way to authenticate your business is by being able to set up certain records in the back end of your domain, and you have to have a professional email that is with your domain, so that way they can authenticate it and verify that you are a real business and a real sender. Otherwise, your emails will not go through properly. So that's what you can see here. Ours is tied to our domain, Client Couture, and we use what's called a subdomain or a dedicated domain under our top domain, just like this, so that way our emails get delivered properly. So let's jump back over to the demo account here. We're going to go back to settings. We'll go to email services and we'll show you what this looks like to set up. So when you first come in, you should have a pop-up like this to click create dedicated domain. If not, you can just click this button right here that says dedicated domain and IP. Now, once you get over here, you'll click add domain. And then what you will do is you can do email.yourdomain. So whatever your domain is, right? So like ours would be Client Couture. Now, of course, for us, I think we are using Talk, so we can test this one. So in this one, I would use email.clientcouture.com, and then we click add and verify. Now, what this will do here again is it'll take you through the same process that you had with setting up your actual domain, where you can click continue and it will automatically attempt to add the records into your DNS settings, or you can click add records manually. So what that would look like in the configuration, if we go over to this right here, so if you were actually manually adding your records, you would have all of these here that you would need to copy and paste over into your DNS settings. So you would have the record type, and then you would have a priority if needed, your host name, and then the values that need to be entered. Again, you can do auto configure where it will attempt to add all of these records manually for you. Otherwise, if that's not working, then you can go ahead and you can add these manually. So again, we'll go over to our DNS settings, and you can see that we already have this, of course, set up in ours. But if we just take a look at the records going line by line, first we got a TXT, and the host name here is this SMTP domain key. So if we go back over here, we should see a TXT record right here with the SMTP, just like so. And then it has this host, or this value is entered in here. And so we just go down the line and we make sure that we add all of those records in. Now, you'll have to, of course, add these. So you have to click add and then punch them in. Now, your screen may look different than ours because we use Cloudflare. Again, it will be wherever your domain is hosted in, but this is what you would need to do to set up your dedicated domain for sending. Now, once it's connected, it will all check mark in green, showing that it's verified. And once that is set up like that, and you see that it has the verification, then that means your dedicated domain for email sending is set up and ready to go. So this is how you add a dedicated domain for email sending. And again, this is very important to make sure you are doing, because otherwise your emails and stuff will not pass through due to the rules and regulations of email providers in today's world. And they're just cracking down more and more on the validity and making sure that businesses are properly verified. And they do that with these DNS settings. So if you have any questions on this, again, feel free to reach out to our team. But overall, this is how you set up your dedicated domain for email sending.